Hello everybody, welcome back to Happy Little Diodes. Today we're going to be refurbishing this issue 3 Spectrum. I honestly can't remember where I got this one. Likely it was part of a job lot of specky PCBs that I got from eBay. As you can see, it's had some work done to the power circuit. This is the standard DC-DC mod. I won't be redoing the mod, but I will be replacing the capacitors. The ULA is one that ends in a 6, which isn't a great sign. It might be working though, cross your fingers, we'll find out. So let's get the heatsink off and start doing our normal refurb jobs. While that's happening, before I forget, stick around to the end because we hit 1,000 subscribers this week. Thanks everyone who's subscribed, and if you haven't already, please do. To celebrate, we'll be having another chaos competition with a giveaway. Stick around till the end and I'll explain how it works if you haven't joined in before, and I'll also tell you what's up for grabs. Alright, I want to check the resistance from the lower RAM to ground on the -5, +5 and +12 volt lines. I don't want them to be too low, and if they're not too low, I'll be happy to put the power in using a current limited power supply. Looking at these readings, everything looks to be not too bad, so I'm going to give it a go with the power supply, see what voltages we get. My power supply isn't set up right, I've been using it for something else, so let's get it set up to the right values. We want 9 volts and I'm going to choose a current of around about 800 milliamps, so let's short it out, get it into current limiting mode, constant current mode, and tweak the value to about 0.8. As usual, we're looking for +5, -5 and +12 volt to the lower RAM. I'm not going to take my time here because there's no heatsink on the voltage regulator, so let's just quickly whiz round and check we got the right voltages, and luckily we do. No issues so far. Let's get a composite video mod done so we can see what the video output looks like easily. Of course, you don't have to do this to test the video output, you might just use the RF output, but because I want to composite mod this specky anyway, it makes sense for me to do it now. I also got annoyed with this reset cable flapping around when I was working on it, so let's remove that because I'm going to replace it over a capacitor instead of where it was placed when we saw it just now. This specky didn't come with a case, but I've got this one on the pile. It's a nice Spec Plus case, looks like good condition, and at some point I've put a new membrane on it. I don't remember doing that, but that's pretty handy, let's use it. I am going to need to find some stilts and supports for it, but that shouldn't be a problem. I've got a big bag of bits and bobs. Okay, with the dandinator in we can run a diagnostic run, and oh yeah, the video's working. And actually there's no problems at all with the RAM test. I'm going to leave it running a soak test for quite some time just to make sure that everything's stable before we move on to changing the capacitors out. A few cups of tea later, we're over 300 test cycles. I think we're running fairly stable here. Alright, as is tradition, we're going to change the capacitors. Found a new way to do this. There we go, lovely. And because this is going into a big Spectrum Plus case, I don't need to remove the ULA to put a heatsink on, so I'm just going to dig a heatsink out of the box, put some double-sided thermal tape on and stick it on there. And as always, highly recommended, I'm going to clean the edge connector. I like to use a fiberglass pen to do that, and a quick scrub with some alcoholic spirit and a toothbrush. And last but not least, let's patch it up. I've found a set of screws that fits a Spectrum Plus case, so I can populate all of the screw holes and have a nice, solid, put together Spectrum to play on. And it wouldn't be a Happy Little Diode Spectrum without the Happy Little Diodes anti-tamper sticker. All that remains is to finish checking everything over and play some games on it. Alright, that's a pretty good job I think. So what about this 1000 subscriber celebration? Well, the game Chaos is a turn-based strategy where up to 8 wizards can fight each other until only one is left. It's a lot of fun, there's a whole load of different spells you can cast to summon monsters and just fight it out. The way the competition works is we run a game with 8 wizards fighting each other, all computer controlled. All you guys need to do is comment below with the name of your wizard and that counts as an entry. This time round I'm going for the biggest competition yet, so I want 32 entrants. That means the first 32 people to comment below with a wizard name will be entered. What that means is a minimum of 4 qualifying rounds and 1 final fight. And what about a prize? Well, up for grabs is the Specky you've just watched me refurbish. This thing is ready to go, I've been playing on it, it runs really well, and it could be yours if you choose the best wizard. So comments below and put this date in your diaries. Wednesday the 8th of June at 7 PM. We'll be live for at least a couple of hours I should think to get through all these fights, and may the best wizard win.